you love to play. Oh, you love to play. Don't your comments won't relay. Sign this on my page for you. Oh my God, he changed. Young life, I can't see back karma. I just need some brains so I could keep myself in order.
He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time. Yes, the title. I know. As usual, it's gonna make sense. Okay, so this, I don't think it mattered when it took place. Let me just tell you how stuff went down. Anyway, so dating. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be 100 about it. I'm not really good at dating because um I said I was gonna keep it 100. I get tired of people fast. I get tired of people fast, and it like if you can't keep my interest as far as like talking, texting, where we're laughing, having a good time, I'm gonna get bored, and I'm not gonna want you to be around. Yeah. So at this time, the little I had, we're kind of like falling off or whatever, and your interest is elsewhere. Like you going through some things, and your interest is elsewhere. And you said a couple of things like when we were chilling and like hanging out. You said a couple of things that kind of made my antennas go up. And then you also said some stuff like, why you not dating? So for to me, it's like you ain't really interested in your interest is starting to go elsewhere. So let me mind my business, and my business gonna be minding me. Right? So me and my cousin, what were we doing? What were we doing? I don't even know what we were doing. I don't know if we were hanging out at her house or we were going to hang out at mine, because it seems like almost every, actually I said my cousin, me and Amber, we would, as I told y'all in the stories that had Amber in it, me and Amber used to hang out on the weekends a lot, and we would have what would be called like seafood weekend. So we would have steaks and seafood. This was during the time when I would eat beef, but I really didn't do the steaks that a lot then either. Give me the seafood. But that's we would have weekends like literally where we would have food, drinks, the kids would be playing, and we would be in our own little world. So it would either be at her place, usually it was at mine. But either way, we was having a good time. So I don't know why we were going to her house. I don't know. I know we were on her side of town because we stopped at McDonald's. So I don't know why we were going to her house. So if we was just hanging out and it was like, oh, we're hungry and let's go to McDonald's. I don't know. Anyway, so we're at McDonald's and we're standing in the line, right? And we're standing in the line waiting to order our food. And so this dude came up after us and he was standing on the side of me. And so he kept looking. And I was like, if you gonna stare, at least speak. And I'm that type of person. Like, I don't care who you are. It's like you stand, I'm gonna be like, hey, like open your mouth. Hey, like you staring. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't. Like at least speak. Speak. Got speak. Anyway, so he was like, dang, like that. And I was like, yeah, like you staring. Like at least speak. Like it's rude to stare. Speak. All you gotta do is speak. So he was like, how you doing? My name is Child. Let me give him a name. I want to say New York because he was from New York, and that's what we're gonna call him. My name is New York. And I was like, nice to meet you in New York. My name is Angel. And I was like, this is my cousin Amber. And so he was like, nice to meet you. And so she was like, hey, how you doing? So went back to the line, like paying attention, like to get my food or whatever. So he went and sat down because I don't know if they was taking a long time. No, he had already ordered because they opened up the line. They opened up another line. So he went and ordered. And so me and my cousin, like my cousin was ordering at the time that he ordered, and then I went ahead and ordered. So we was getting our food to go. So as we was walking out, he stopped me. He was like, so, and he slid his phone. He was like, you're not going to give me your number? And I was like, why would I give you my number? You don't even know how to speak. And so he was like, oh, you a feisty little something. And I was like, I don't see myself as being feisty. I was like, just honest. Why would I give you my number and you don't want to speak? And so he was like, nah, come on, stop playing hard to get. Give me your number. So not going front, he was kind of cute or whatever. And then, not even going to be, I ain't going to front. I was mad at my little yeah. And it was like, but you told me the date, so you're not really my little yeah no more. Like, you giving me hints like this is over. So, you're right. I need the date. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I put my number in the phone. And we went and got in the car. And when we got in the car, like, Amber knew my little yeah. And we got in the car, so Amber was like, so you and your little yeah over? And I was like, he told me the date. She was like, you be playing with your life. You just be playing with your life. And I was like, girl, he was the one who told me the date. We good. I'm good. She was like, okay. We'll see about that. Anyway, so Amber, so we went back to Amber's house and we ate. I guess we was hanging out at her house. I don't know. We went to her house and we ate. Anyway, so the next day, he texted me. And so he was like, what's up? How you doing? You know, I'm ready. Like, we need to go on a date. I don't want to waste no time. What you want to do? You want to go to the movies? What you want to do? And so I was like, you're shooting y'all with this twist up. So I was like, a movie is cool. And I was like, it's cool. It's whatever. I was like, I'm down for a dinner and a movie. You know, the usual. I was like, I'm down for dinner and a movie. And so he was like, oh, okay, cool. And he was like, so you want to go Friday or you want to go on Tuesday? And I was like, it don't matter. And so he was like, oh, okay, well, let's go. Did he say Friday? Yeah, he was like, let's go on Friday. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he was like, all right, it's a date. See you on Friday. And he was like, well, he was like, you wanna come on my side of town or you want me to come to your side of town? Because he was like, what side of town do you live on? I said, well, I live on the east side. And I was like, so he was like, well, what you was doing on the south side? And I was like, I was with my cousin. And so he was like, oh, okay. And he was like, so your cousin live on the south side? And I was like, yeah. And so he was like, oh, okay, cool. He was like, so you want to come on the south side? He was like, instead of me coming over to the east side? Red flag. Red flag. And I was like, not really. And I was like, but I guess. I was like, no big deal. I guess I could come over there. And I was like, oh, okay, something different, I guess. Like, why would you not want to come on the east side? But it's neither here nor there. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, like, that's no big deal. And I was like, well, which movie theater are we meeting up to? And he was like, nah, let's not meet up at the movie theater. Let me cook for you. And I was like, all right. I was like, well, I mean, and he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm not really comfortable just showing up to somebody's house. Like, you know, we just exchanged numbers, so I'm not really comfortable showing up to nobody's house. And I was like, but I mean, and he was like, okay, well, how about this? How about we do the movie, and then after the movie, you know, like, I cook for you? And I was like, how about we just do the movie and we go out to eat? Like, we go out to eat. And so he was like, all right. He was like, you want to do the normal? Let's do the normal. I was like, yeah. So which movie theater you want to meet at? And so he was like, well, I'll let you know when they get close to the Friday. Okay. So it get close to the Friday. So in my mind, what you was saying that, I was like, we probably not going on a date. Maybe you flaking, maybe you changed your mind. We probably not going on a date. So Amber was like, I had told her the plan stuff because she asked, did I talk to the dude? And I was like, oh yeah, we going out Friday. And so she was like, yeah, you playing with your life. You are determined to keep playing with your life. And I was like, girl, what you talking about? I was like, I haven't even heard from my little yeah this whole week. What you talking about? So she was like, well, what did you do? Like, why he mad? Huh? Why he mad? What did I do? And I was like, girl, I ain't do nothing. I was like, you have every right to not want to be with me no more, not want to kick with me no more, not be cool with me no more. You can go do what you want to do, like you a grown ass man, just like I'm a grown ass woman. So, yeah. I was like, I ain't do nothing to that man, which I didn't. Like, you have every right again to decide where you want to go, and I have every right. Like you again, you told me to date, so let me listen to your advice. As far as I know, men are simple. Man tell you he don't want to be with you, he don't want to be with you. Man tell you like you deserve better, you deserve better. Like, I mean, it's simple for me. It's simple. It's simple. So she was like, girl, okay. And I was like, yeah, so, I got a date on Friday. And I was like, I'll let you know if that changed. Because she had asked also, like, girl, what you doing this weekend? So that's how it got up into, me telling her, about my date and stuff, etc., etc. So Friday comes and I'm like, okay, I haven't heard from you, like, to say which theater we going to, but either way, like, I'm the type of person where it's like, if you call me and you be like, we not going, baby, I'm gonna be okay with that, because I'm gonna get in my bed and rub my feet together after I find me some food and watch TV. I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not that type of person where I feel like you have to shout me out, or we have to see each other all the time. I'm good. So, truth be told, sometimes I'm counting on that. I'm counting for you to be like, girl, we not going. Okay, thank you. Because that way I do not have to be sociable. I know. Anyway, so I'm saying it like throughout the day, like, I haven't heard from you. So I was like, okay, so we probably not going out. You probably changed your mind. It's whatever. It's all good. I'm probably about to be ghosted. Around 5:30, I get a text message. He was like, oh, I can't wait to see you. So he was like, I'm about to call you. So he called and he was like, are you excited? You ready for our first date? And I was like, yeah, I guess. And I was like, so what movie theater are we going to? And so he was like, I don't know yet. He was like, but my car broke down, so you gonna have to come pick me up. I was like, you don't want to reschedule? And he was like, nah. He was like, nah. He was like, my car broke down. He was like, it just happened. This was unplanned, so you're going to have to come pick me up. I was like, well, we can reschedule. He was like, no, it's cool. No, for real. It's like, you can just come pick me up. So I was like, all right. So in my mind, again, I'm still, I'm a little salty about my little going other places. So it's like, all right, fine. Let me go pick him up. You tell me to go date. Let me go pick him up. So, he shot me the address to his house. And so, got in the car, drove to his house to go pick him up. So, I got to his house and I was like, I called him and I was like, I'm outside. And so he was like, oh, okay, just come in. I was like, oh, okay. So I go, and knocked on the door, and he opened up the door, and like, you are dressed like regular schmegler. Like, not that you have to be like extremely dressed up for movies and dinner, but you don't look like you ready to go. So I was like, you're not ready to go? Because me driving from the east side to the south side to get to you is 45 minutes to an hour. You had time to get dressed. Like, we're going to the movies. We're going to dinner. Why you not ready? Why you not ready? Like, what we doing? And so he was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. He was like, but I mean, since you here, you might as well, like, come in and we can just watch a movie here. So at that very moment, I knew we're not going to the movie. We're not going to dinner. Clearly, you don't have money for it, I'm assuming. But even if you had just said that, like, I gotta pay for my own stuff. Granted, I'm not coming back ever. This is gonna be the only date. But you could have said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be in your house. I already told you I did not want to be in your house. But, of course, now I'm here is... So, he was like, yeah, we could just do a movie right here. So I was like, he was like, you already here. And instead of me spending money, we could just watch a movie right here. Like, I got some stuff on bootleg. Because at the time, if you got a CD man, you got a bootleg man where they was going to the movie theaters and recording the movies. recording the movies. So you can pay the bootleg man $10 and get the new movie. You know what I'm saying? Instead of paying $20-$25. To go see it in the theaters. So he was like, what movie you want to see? What movie you want to see? And you counting out like the CDs. And I was like, I don't know. And so he was like, you want something to drink? He was like, let me fix you something to drink. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And he was like, no, let me fix you something to drink. Like, I got alcohol, I got soda, I got water. What you want? He was like, oh, matter of fact, my brother in the kitchen and he cooking. Yo, brother. And I was like, your brother? And he was like, oh yeah, this my brother's spot. Like, I'm staying, like, I moved down here from New York, and like, I'm trying to get things together. I'm trying to get on my feet. I was like, oh, so you're not working? He was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I can understand that, because at the time I wasn't working either, so I was looking. So it was like, oh, okay, I get it. But, my unemployment, I was budgeting out my unemployment to sustain me and to pay my rent, to pay my car payment. Like, I was budgeting my money. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I understand, like, trying to figure things out. I understand that. And I was like, so what happened to your car? And so he was like, real talk, I don't even have a car. What? What? And he was like, my brother has a car. He was like, and he's supposed to be going somewhere tonight, so I can't use his car. I was like, all you had to do was say, he was like, nah, like, I'm from New York, so I'm so used to, like, public transportation, being able, to move around. He was like, here, you can't do that, which is true. Like, when you move from, like, a major city to the city here, it's a difference. It's a shock, because here, unless you stay in the inner city, you definitely need a car to get around. Even staying in the inner city, there's certain places where you need a car. Like, yeah. So I got it, but, like, it's just like, why didn't you say something? Like, it's like, you hitting me with this information now. It's like you were hiding stuff. Like, like all these masks are falling off, when in reality you just should have said, like, listen, I don't have a car, you're gonna have to come pick me up, or I can Uber or Lyft to the movies. Like, you be 100 with me. Like, when you lying and you in that I get it later, like my interest be like like it changes. And so of course now it's like, I told you I didn't want to be in your house, you got me in your house. I told you, like, I want to go to the movies, we can't go to the movies. You lied about you having car trouble, you didn't have a car, so your brother wouldn't let you use the car, when you should have asked your brother previous, because we made this plan the beginning of the week. So why you ask your brother on Monday that if you can use the car on Friday because you got a date? Anyway, so I was like, okay. He was like, no, for real. He was like, so what you want to watch? And I was like, I don't care. And so he put in this movie, and I'm not even gonna front, the movie ended up being good. I end up wanted to watch the movie like from the beginning, because like in the beginning I really wasn't paying attention, because it's like I was sitting there plotting and planning, like, how I'm gonna get out of here, like what's the excuse I'm gonna use, because my kid, lo and behold, Tyler was hanging out with his friends or spending the night with his friends, so he wasn't home. So it wasn't like I could use my kid, because if Tyler was home, he'd be calling and be like, Mom, where are you? And I could use that like to escape. But he wasn't home. So with him being with his kids, so him being with his friends, he ain't paying me no attention. So I can't use that escape. I could text my cousin, I could text Amber and be like, hey girl, say something, another. But I don't know if Amber found something else to do. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know why I didn't just be like, I don't know. Anyway, I guess I was like, I gotta see it through, my boy. I don't know. Anyway, so the movie ended up being good. The movie was called, I think it was called Illegal Tender. I think that's what it was called. I like that movie. Ended up loving it. I had never seen the movie ever before until you introduced the movie. And so we was watching the movie, like the movie ended up being good. Okay, cool. So you started asking me questions, because he was like, how many kids do you have? And I was like, oh, I have a son. He was like, oh, I got a little boy too. You want more kids? Nope. Excuse me. I was like, nope. I don't want any more kids. And he was like, oh man, that's gonna kind of mess up our future, because I want at least try for a little girl. What future? What future are you talking about, sir? This is just the first manipulated situation, because it's not a date, because we said a movie and dinner, and yeah, we are not in movie theater, and there's no food. Because your brother was like, oh, he cooked. He was like, oh, you're more than welcome to it. No. No. Like, bruh, I could do Applebee's, Chili's. Like, take me to McDonald's. Like, anyway. So, I was like, what are you talking? I was like, oh, that's the joke. And he was like, nah. He was like, I can tell, like, you good people. From the first date, but I could be a serial killer. You don't know me. How could you start making all these plans? Anyway, so he was like, hold on, because his brother had called him. So he walked and went to talk to his brother. And because in my mind, I was like, wait, the brother's still here? I thought you was going out, but that's why you couldn't use the car. So you came back, and it was like you closed like the door to upstairs. And so I was like, I thought your brother was going on a date, or I thought he was leaving, because you said that's why you couldn't use the car. And so he was like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He changed his mind. Like, his girl is supposed to be coming over here. Another person? So I was like, oh, okay. And so he was like, nah, like, no, for real. He was like, it's all good. It's all good. He was like, I just wanted to, like give you a home feel. He was like I said, I just got here. Like, I really don't know the city. So, and I was like, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. And so he was like, all right, so what do you like to do? And I was like, it just depends. I was like, what do you mean as far as for fun? He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I'm more of a festival girl, which I am. Like, I love food truck festivals, like different festivals you go to. I love stuff like that. I love looking at different vendors. I do. I just love festivals. I'm not really crazy about concerts, to be totally honest. I'll go, but not really crazy about it. I was like, I watch TV, or I like be inventive. Like, once we get to the point where I come to your house, like dates, you can do an in-home picnic, like stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we can't communicate, like you can't make me laugh, we can't go from comedians to politics to religion to like just bouncing all over the place. It's not gonna work. And I'm just gonna yeah. I'm just that interest gone. And then when you start lying, so it's like, for me, it's like you don't have to lie to me. Cause I don't see myself as like this high person or like this high class person. Like, I have like flaws. I have my trials. I have stuff that's going on. Like, real life. I know real life happens. So like, if you not coming out the gate with a car, it's like, okay, like, cause I done lost a couple of cars because of situations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, it just depends on the day. Like, literally, it literally is. It just depends on the day. Like, you can hit me up and be like, hey, I want to go to this hands-on petting zoo. I like stuff like that too. So I'll be like, oh, I'm down for that. Or you can hit me up and be like, hey, you want to go to the football game? I'm down for that too. I'm not a fan of of the home team in the city, but if you say, hey, let's go to the football game, I'm down to go. Hey, let's go to the basketball game. Hey, I'm down to go. We don't even have to have courtside seats. We could be in the nosebleeds. I'm cool with that. Like, stuff like that, I'm down to do. So it's like, I'm more of a eclectic type chick. Like, it just depends on certain things. I like to get out. I don't know. It's just different. It just depends. Like, if you shoot me stuff like car shows, let's go walk the car show. I'm down for that too. Anyway, dinner in the movie is cool too, but just not all the dang on time. Just not all the time. Just not all the time. Anyway, like, even with this situation, I ain't want to be in your house, but again, if you would have set up where like you ordered food, or hey, like the pizza on the way and you got like a blanket on the floor, and it's like, I'm gonna put a movie in, would have sparked my interest. But it was just how you went about it. It was sneaky as, like, first of all, it was like, oh, why don't you just come to the house? I don't want to come to your house. But then now it's like, well, since you here, let's stay. You don't have a car. You should have said that ahead of time. Like, I don't have a car, so we're going to have to do the movies at my house or at my brother's house. Let me know I'm walking into somebody else's house. I'm thinking it's just your place. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me info. Feed me the details. Anyway. So the movie goes off, and like we was talking or whatever, and so you was like, you was staring at my face, staring at my face, and he was like, ooh, you have some beautiful lips. So I think like we should kiss, like we should get the awkwardness, like the first kiss out of the way. No. And so he was like, okay, he was like, yeah, that was a bad move. Yeah, it was. And so he was like, well, let's find another movie. Oh, okay, cool. And so you found another movie, you put this movie in. I don't even know what this movie was. Couldn't even tell you the name of it. It wasn't really keeping my interest. And so you leaned over like you had your head on my shoulder like that. You know, you had your head on my shoulder while the movie was on. And so I'm kind of leaning on the sofa because I'm on the edge and I'm leaning on the sofa like this. And I'm trying to like stay awake but try to be into the movie. And so he was like, "You don't like the movie, huh?" And I was like, "It's all right. It's all right." And so he was like, oh, "Okay." And so my stomach started growling. So he was like, "You hungry?" He was like, "We can, let's go get something to eat." He was like, we just have to take your car." Now if you would tell me that ahead of time, I wouldn't feel a problem. No. When I'm getting in my car and leaving, I'm going home. I'm going home. So I was like, nah, it's getting kind of late. I should be getting ready to head out anyway. And I was like, and then I could just get me something to eat on my way out. Because you can eat whatever it is that your brother cooked in there. So he was like, nah, come on, man. And I was like, no, for real. And so he was like, well, at least, give me a kiss. Bye. And so he was like, all right, let's break the ice. He was like, let's start over. So, my name is New York. I'm from New York. I have one son. I came down here because, I'm trying to make a better life. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. And, I just want to do better for my son. And this was my new start. My brother was already down here. He told me to come down here to start over, start fresh, to get out of the city. I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. And so he was like, I really like you. He's like, I'm really digging your, he didn't say vibe, but we're going to say vibe to keep it in like current terms to know. I don't remember what he said. But anyway, it's on that, I don't know what the word was back then. I'm digging your vibe right now. So he was like, I think you a cool person from what I could tell. Like, I really want to get to know you. I really want to hang out. Like, I really want to make this work. And I was like, And he was like, come on, man. And I was like, now you gotta do better than that. And so he was like, okay. So he stood up. And so he act like he got a microphone. He was like, my name is, and I was like, oh, and I started laughing. He was like, there you go. There go that smile. He was like, I'm with that. So after that, like we started talking. We started having a good conversation or whatever. And it was a cool vibe. It was flowing. It was cool. It was a cool little vibe. And so he was like, let me find another movie. So he found another movie, put another movie in. Now this one, I still don't know what the name of the movie was, but it was kind of piquing my interest or whatever. So he was still sitting on the sofa beside me, and he still had his head like this, but he started kissing on my neck. And then you started sucking on my neck a little bit. And you started sucking on my neck more, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So you started sucking on my neck a little bit, and he was like, come on, at least give me a kiss. And he was like, I know you ain't never kissed no dude from New York. Yeah, I haven't. And so I kissed him. He was a pretty good kisser. And so I was like, oh, okay. He was like, you want to come to my room? And he was like, nothing is going to happen that you don't want to happen. Now, mind you, it had been a little minute since I got a little pickle tickle. So I was like, And I know y'all thinking like, girl, you just met this man. True. So you shouldn't be doing that. Who said that? Yeah. So anyway, I was like, yeah, that's cool. Let's go downstairs. And he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah, for real. So we go downstairs to his room, like we chilling, we laying in the bed, we cooling, like we laughing, we talking, we having a good time. And so he was like, if I wanted to, kiss you further, like if I wanted to kiss further, if I wanted to suck on you, like, would you let me? And I was like, we'll find out. And so he started moving, maneuvering certain things. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so he was like, let me give you a massage. Like, come on, like, trust me, like, for real. And he gave me a massage. Yes, I was completely naked. And he gave me a massage. Yes, this was the first date. Mind your business, I'm grown. Anyway, so he went to the drawer and he was like, and I was like, oh, nothing was gonna go down if you did not have one. And so he was like, oh, okay, cool. So pulled out the condom. Yeah. It was like, so after things, and I was like, all right, it's time for me to go home. It's time for me to go home. It was like he didn't even have to ask me to leave. I was like, all right, I'm gonna holler at you. And so he was like, you for real? And I was like, yeah, I'm for real. I'm gonna holler at you. So I got in the car. So got in the car. Now, mind you, my phone, when I walked in this mug, my phone is on silent. Because just in case, my phone is on silent. So I got to my phone and I'm looking at the missed calls. So I called Amber back and I was like, girl, what do you want? She was like, why you not answering the phone? And she was like, a dinner and a movie does not take that long. Where you been? Excuse me. Where you been? And I was like, on my date. And she was like, girl, it does not take that long. She was like, why you keep playing with your life like that? And I was like, first of all, the only person who has called me, the only person who has said anything is you. Nobody has called me. You the only one blowing up my phone like you my man. What do you want? And so she was like, how was the date? That's what I was calling to find out. How was the date? And I was like, it started off kind of rocky. And I was like, but he ended up being cool. Like, he seemed like he a cool little person or whatever. And so she was like, She was like, he a good kisser. And I was like, yeah, he a good kisser or whatever. And I was like, yeah, because I can't say that. I was like, oh, the peeing game is, it's about like a 5. She was like, girl, what? She was like, you slept with him? And I was like, yeah. Yeah, I did. She was like, you gonna die. And I was like, girl, what? What are you talking about? And so she was like, I was told to date. Like, how? Like, I don't understand why you not getting that through your head. I was told to date. That means you're no longer interested. I haven't heard from you. We haven't talked. Your interest is somewhere else. Like, clearly you're telling me to move on. Get on. It's over. It's a wrap here. No man that's interested in you is going to tell you to date, love. She was like, girl, whatever. She was like, so, like you? And I was like, no. And I was like, it had been a minute. I wanted to be touched. It probably was a mistake, but it's whatever. Anyway, so that was Friday, right? I didn't hear from him on Saturday. I'm cool. I'm cool with that because 9 times out of 10, I was going to ghost you anyway. Sorry. But it was the truth. 9 times out of 10, I was going to ghost you anyway. Like, for me to be really, really interested in you, like that's it. It takes a lot. I'm not really good with dating. I'm also the girl, like, you can do all of that, and it's like, you ain't got to never hear from me again. We good. Like, yeah. Anyway. So, Sunday, I'm laying, like, yeah, it was Sunday. So Sunday, like, I'm laying in the bed and I'm chilling, watching TV. I can look out my window and see what's going on, but I'm laying in the bed chilling, watching TV. And so I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. Like, I hadn't said nothing to you. You hadn't said nothing to me. And I had already made the decision that I wasn't going back anyway. Yeah. Horrible, I know. Anyway, so you called me or you texted me. Did you call me or text me? I can't remember. if he called or text me first, I knew it was first, but I can't remember if he called or if he texted. He texted and he was like, "What you doing?" And I was like, "Watching TV." And so after I said that, he called. And so he was like, oh, okay. He was like, "I cooked today. Like, I cooked greens, and I got some cornbread, and I cooked some baked chicken. Like, you can come over and you can eat because I want to see you." Nah. And I was like, "Nah, I don't want to come over." And I was like, "I already ate. So I'm just, I really just want to relax and chill out," which was true. It really didn't have nothing to do with him. I really just wanted to chill out. Like, I really didn't feel like moving. I really didn't feel like going anywhere. Because I had turned Amber down, too. Because Amber was like, "You coming over to eat?" Because she had cooked. And I was like, "Well, girl, nah, I cooked. I really just want to chill out. I really don't feel like driving. I really don't feel like moving. I just want to chill out." And so she was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So what I was telling him wasn't like me making up something. It was literally the truth. I just told Amber that, too. So he was like, "Don't one night me. Don't one night me." "Don't one night me. Don't one night me." And I was like, "Don't one night you?" And I was like, "What you talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, because I hadn't said anything to him on Saturday. So I was ghosting him, but like, it was going to be gradually. It wasn't going to be like that. Like, quick. It was gonna be gradually. But then I was like, "Don't one night you?" And I was like, "What you talking about?" And he was like, "I didn't hear from you yesterday." And I was like, "Well, you didn't call either." And I was like, "But I don't want to come because I don't want to move. I already ate. I already cooked." And I was like, I was like, "My cousin asked me to come over too," and I turned her down. I said, "So it has nothing to do with it just being like with you." And so he was like, "No, don't one night me. Don't one night me." And I was like, "Bruh, like, I'm telling you, I just don't feel like moving today." And so he was like, "What kind of relationship would this be? What kind of relationship would this be if you like, you don't show up when I need you to show up? I'm telling you, like, I cook for you and you can come eat." I said, first of all, we're not in a relationship. Second of all, if you had plans to cook for me and you wanted me to show up, that would be something where you would call me or you would text me to say, "Hey, I'm going to cook for you tomorrow. And would you like to show up?" Or, "I'm going to cook for you. Is it okay if you come tomorrow, because I want to cook for you?" Like, there is so many ways that you could have said, "Hey, I want to cook for you on Sunday." Because if that was the case, I wouldn't have cooked for myself and I would have made arrangements to come over there. If I wanted to come, if I was interested. And I was like, "But I'm laying here chilling. You've already cooked. I've already cooked my meal, which means I had no idea about you cooking. And I'm just chilling. I just told you I turned my cousin down too because she cooked and she asked me to come over. And I told her, no, I don't want to move. I'm over here chilling." This man said, "You're useless. You're useless. I knew you were going to be useless. I knew you were going to be useless. I knew you were going to be useless. You want one night me. You use me. You a user. You a user." I said, "So I'm a user or I'm useless? Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? You don't fucking understand what it took for me to go get the food, to cook the food, and the money I spent." I said, "Greens don't cost that much, number one." And I was like, "I don't know where you went for some chicken. I don't even know how much chicken you got, but chicken don't cost that much either. What you talking about?" Like, and all you had to say was, I was like, "You know what? It's whatever." And I was like, you can think whatever. I say, since I'm useless, keep that attitude, holla at you. Y'all, when I tell y'all that man called back to back to back to back like 20 times because I wouldn't answer the phone. You leaving crazy messages. One message, it'll be like, "Answer the phone. Answer the phone right now. Answer the phone. You are not going to one night me. You are not going to do that." And then the next call, it'll be, you know what, I'm sorry. Can we just talk about it? You know, like, I apologize. And then the third call will be, you so mother useless. I don't understand. Like, I went out of my way. I don't understand. You seem like a good person. And then the next call will be like, you know what? Let's just talk about it. So then I was like, yeah, I gotta change my number, because you just called me 20 times back to back to back, and each call has been a different personality. So I changed my number. So when I changed my number, I sent my number out to the people who had my previous number. And so when I changed my number, Amber started laughing. It was like, I can't wait to hear the story. And so my little yeah, when I changed the number, he was like, who is this? And I didn't respond. So you did some kind of search and then figured out it was me. And was like, oh, you changing your number now? Like, what you changing your number for? And I was like, I just had an incident, so I had to change my number. He was like, what incident? And I was like, I had a situation, so I just need to change my number. And so he was like, what incident? What are you talking about? And I was like, I went on a date, and it kind of ended bad. And so he was like, you went on a date? Yeah. He was like, interesting. So we'll talk about that later. What in the Twilight Zone? Anyway, he showed up like 2 days later, and so tell me about this little date. You went on. So I told him the date, and I told him about it, and I was like, yeah, so I went to the new house, so he stopped. He was like, stop right there. First of all, I told you to go on a date. I ain't tell you in the finger in my face. I ain't tell you to go to no house. First of all, you telling me to go on a date speaks volume. And you don't control how I date. Like, what is wrong with you? Well, what was the situation? I was like, he called me like 20 times, so I let him listen to like 1 or 2 voicemails, and he was just shook his head. He was like, I don't know what to say. And I was like, there's nothing you can say. Anyway. So yeah, that's the story time of me being useless. Baby, dating is just, ooh. And I'm not saying like all men are like that. It's just like hearing like the stories now in this day and age from my friends. I'm good. I wanted to try Plenty of Fish one time. I went on Plenty of Fish, and baby, whoa. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What happened? Wait. Huh? What? Like, I don't know how y'all do Plenty of Fish, baby. I don't know how y'all do it, but to each his own. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. Disclaimer. Do not do what I do. There was a different day and time then. Y'all go to folks' house these days, you might not come out. You might get cut up. It's stories out there. Real life stories. Don't do that. This story was years prior. Different day and time. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.